Okay, Noah deposits $45 into his savings account at the end of each week. If he starts with $550 in his account, how much will be in the account at the end of the 6th week? A lot of these SAT problems are going to throw a bunch of numbers at you. The key is, and that's all we're going to be focusing on, is learning how to pick out the key details and the key information. So this is something I like to do, and it's called a given list. This is a list where we write down everything that's given to us that's important. It's just like highlighting the information. Unfortunately, now the SAT problems are all online, which means you can't really highlight. So it's really useful to have a piece of paper in front of you and just kind of write down what you're given to help organize your thoughts. So Noah deposits $45 into his savings account at the end of each week. So we can write down each week, deposit $45. Okay, starts with $550, which is right here. How much will be in the account at the end of the 6th week? 6 weeks pass. If we need help visualizing this, we can say, okay, well, we're starting with $550. Okay, so this is week 0. This is where he starts. As we progress, we have week 1 all the way to week 6. So week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. And every week, he deposits $45. So plus 45, plus 45, plus 45 for every single week. Now you have to be careful that it's not just adding up all of these. We have to start with some sort of initial amount, which is $550. So basically we're saying $550 plus 45, 45, 45, 45, plus 45, plus 45. How many times is that? Well, that's 6 weeks. So 6 $45 amounts. So 6 times $45. And that is the total of how much he deposits by the end of the 6th week. So now you plug this into your calculator. 6 times 45, 270 plus 550, $820. Now, if you prefer to simply do this in the algebraic approach, you could. And the way to do this is just by saying, okay, well, realizing that we have an initial phi amount. So if you're comfortable with linear equations, y is equal to mx plus b, you know that b is the y-intercept, which represents the initial amount. It's a starting point, so 550. And then m times x represents the rate of change that we're talking about, right, with m being slope. So we know that 45 is by how much we increase each week. And how many weeks pass is x, so 6. And you'll get the exact same answer, $820. Leah begins the year with $700 in her bank account. She adds $50 each week. How much money will she have at the end of the week? So let's take a look at this one in a more algebraic approach by saying y is equal to mx plus b. The reason we're using a linear equation here is because this is a linear relationship. The change each week is consistent. It's not 50 and then 55 one week and $60 next week or 35 one week, right? It's always $50 every single week. So what you need to recognize in your givens list is that we have the beginning amount of $700 adds $50 every week. This every word here is the key word. That should give you like a ding, ding, ding in your head to think about slope. So how much money will she have by the end of the 10th week is the question, right? That's what we're trying to figure out. Okay, well, if we look at it graphically, we're saying that we're starting with $700. And if we put here like dollar amount, and here will be weeks. So at week 0, we're starting at $700. And every single week, we add $50. So week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 1. So week 1 passes. We add $50. to get to 750, which is right here. And then another week passes, so week 2, we add another $750, which is $800 now. And as you continue this, you'll see this linear relationship going upwards up until the 10th week, which we said is up here. Okay, well, what we notice here is the y-intercept is 700. So y is equal to mx plus 700. The rate of change, well, that's the slope. Well, we can see that we're increasing each time by $50 as we go from one week to the next. That's the rate of change, right? So we're going to plug that in. Y is equal to $50 times x plus 700. Remember, we said that x is going to be the number of weeks, which we did here, and y is the total amount, or of dollars. So we're looking for the 10th week, so we're going to use the equation y is equal to 50 times 10 plus 700. Y is equal to 500 plus 700, so y equals to 1200.